Big, bold and brutal, that's NASCAR racing. And who better to tell us all about them than our own big, bold and sometimes brutal Darrell Eastlake.
Bit cheeky, Kenny, bit cheeky under the sun here on the Gold Coast, thank you. Well, you're looking out the windscreen of Bradley Jones's NASCAR here with the Castrol sponsorship on the front of it there. Peter Brock will be talking to Bradley. During this race, he's had a bit of a horrible time through practice with both the Oscar and the NASCAR, doing a joint effort with both. So it's a big effort over the weekend. And we should get some pretty exciting pictures out of that, because if the car is right, B. Brock, he'll certainly make some moves.
Yes, Bradley's had a number of problems, mainly in the braking department, and he's had to take a little bit of a guess to get the car right. It's a big car that's heavy on brakes around here. Bradley's a very determined operator. He'll be coming through the pack.
Here's the hard chart up. It's on Bradley Jones. Now you can see it's around 123, up around 127, jumping up a little bit now. But we'll try and bring that up on the start area for you just to see the difference. It's just fluctuating from 111 back there now to 120. I'm sure it's going to build up around start time. Rolling start for these cars.
Bradley be right now. It's a little bit of apprehension coming into the scene here. It's sneaking up. It's gone up 10 or so since we began talking. 145, he knows the start's getting close, and he's starting to concern himself.
How do you like the layout of the NASCAR as far as looking at Bradley sitting in the office chair there?
Well, you know, these cars are remarkably well suited to this type of racing. Everyone thinks they'd be only suitable for the big high-banked ovals of Talladega and what have you, but around these tracks here, they're quite comfortable. The boys all say, hey, they're like a normal big tourer to drive. Left-hand drive, of course, but Bradley's looking pretty comfortable.
Well, Gerald, when you look at these cars, we've used to see them on a banked oval. They've been really spectacular the first year here in Surfers Paradise. But last year, of course, we had bad weather, and that delayed a lot of the racing. But it should be a lot closer today.
It certainly will, Darrell. There's 10 laps of racing from these 3,500-pound beasts, and I think we'll see a great show.
All right, getting ready for a start. Rolling start. The pace car in front there, you can see, will just pull off when he's ready into the pits from the parade lap. Looks like they're coming round again by the look of that. The pace car is not getting out of the way. Yes, he does. He darts away. So racing now. Down goes the flag. And boy, oh boy, looking at it from Brad Jones's point of view as they make their way into the first chicane now. This is the worry for these big cars, because when they all bunch up there on the chicane, anything can happen, and usually does. Let's have a look. Johnny Faulkner come out of pole from Alan Bryson, Charlie O'Brien, Jimmy Richards, all in that bunch. That's 46 is Faulkner. In behind him is Grice. Through they come. Everybody looks like they're going to get through okay. Good stuff from the NASCARs. A nice clean start.
Yep, and Faulkner hanging in there. Alan Grice behind in that Travelodge car. He'd be looking for a way around very quickly, because I think Grice would probably fancy himself as, you know, a potential race leader. You see Faulkner taking the very much the protective line, but Grice absolutely ready to pounce.
Jimmy Richards is also in there along with Charlie O'Brien, so there's plenty of muscle and hustle.
There is, but these cars are certainly cruising. They're certainly under some sort of yellow flag situation. Maybe they didn't get the flag here in the start line. They were probably not properly formed up.
Seems to be plenty of conversation going on in the starters' nest right in front of our commentary position, but the guys are taking it easy.
Yeah, but there's no flags being displayed. No, that's not correct. There's no flags out.
Bradley Jones, Peter Brock here.
Hi, Brocky.
What happened, Bradley? Was there no flag on the way up there?
Yeah, having a bit of a drink, bit of a look around. Oh, look out, here we go. It's all happening here, Brock.
Well, I might leave you to it a bit, Bradley, but were they told to take it easy for half a lap?
Yeah, they don't want to have any carnage, but it's probably the best thing.
There's the hard charge you can see now, up to 176. Remember, it's about a 111 just prior to the start. So Bradley's jumping around inside the driving suit there. He's got an ice pack around his neck to try and keep him cool too.
So perhaps we'd better explain to our viewers that the reason for that very quiet start was because the organiser said, we don't want a first corner incident. We want you to take it easy for half a lap, and on the back straight, give it the gas.
Actually, that's half smart, because the last couple of years here, that first couple of chicanes have proved a big problem.
Oh, we've seen these cars launching like 747s taking off, Brocky, going through the chicanes.
Yes.
And
certainly now these cars are looking like they're down to racing. They're smooth. They've got a little bit of gap between the cars, and they're going.
Well, Johnny Faulkner is out in front now. Charlie O'Brien in car 15 is up in the second place. Alan Grice is in third. Jimmy Richards is in fourth. That's how they run. 2 of 10 down. This is the area now that the organisers were worried. I think it was a pretty wise move. Keep the revs down, get through those first 2 corners, then have a go. Well, obviously, Johnny Faulkner's got the break there. Charlie O'Brien has made a good move. He's come up into second place. He was back in third, so he's improved by 1. Jimmy Richards in car 1. Doug Taylor, who was third last year, is in car 23. But at the moment, Johnny Faulkner doing a good job.
And I'd have to say the surprise to me is that car in screen now of Alan Grice's drop back on this first lap. Usually Grice, he's like a bull at the gate. He loves to get out there early on and take advantage of everyone else being a little bit asleep, but maybe he's got a problem. He's fallen back there.
Grice driving for Dick Midgley from the United States, and of course 2 years ago in the first race here at Surfers Paradise, he got a flat tyre on a caution lap. There was 1 lap remaining. He lost a cool $30,000 because he had to pit, and everyone passed him.
Now, Brocky, we talked about the Oscars. We saw the brake problems they had. What sort of problems can we expect out of these cars over this distance of 10 laps?
Well, OK, these guys are now into their 3rd year of racing these cars at Surfers Paradise. Most of the front runners, the hot shots,
oh, big one, Daly Punnett car 10 into the wall.
Andrew Harris.
Well, he's parked it. I don't believe he's even in the car, to be perfectly frank with you. He's abandoned the car. It looks like it's going to stay there. The front wheel's to range. And this will probably mean a flag situation. And who knows, I might decide to drag the car off the track.
Back to brakes.
Well, brakes are a problem. Brakes, these are big motor cars. Here's a replay. Here's Andrew Harris coming down. He's lost it under brakes. The rear wheels are locked up. Smacked the wall. And, well, looking at that, you can't imagine why he hasn't put into reverse gear to drive off.
Andrew Harris had a major problem last year. He was rear-ended at the start, and he dropped oil from the start line all of the way around the track.
Getting back to brakes, this sort of racing is very, very tough on brakes, and these cars are 3,500 pound. In fact, I believe they're allowed to run a little lighter in this trim at this circuit, but most of them have done a lot of work with 6-spot calipers. They've got water injection, which is simply a spray device that fires a mist down the brake duct, and all the hot shots have figured out ways of making a car reliable for 10 or 15 laps. It remains to be seen, I guess, of just how well that homework's been done.
Well, Charlie O'Brien nibbling away at Faulkner's lead here, but Faulkner seems to be pretty cool under pressure.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Faulkner. There's a yellow flag just coming out the track, and although the races are down the back straight now and they're not being affected by it just yet, certainly it appears like they're going to remove the car number 10 that's blocking the circuit.
Well, of course, now what that does, Faulkner's lead now, virtually is eroded because there'll be a restart again. So what leads you build up, you've got to throw away and do it all again.
It's basically like starting all over again, and the 2 cars of the Valvoline cars are coming up behind. All the cars slowing down now. The flags are out.
So the pace car is on the circuit now. You saw the flags out. Now what this means is the cars now will regroup. You couldn't pass under those flags, so they'll now regroup and we're back to a restart.
So Bradley Jones is noticing he's picked up one spot only, but this will probably give him a better chance because, you know, he's a very experienced circuit racer, and that's his car there with the in-car camera. Bradley, how are we going?
Oh, hi, Rocky. I was just talking to my brother about how fast this missile in front of me goes in a straight line. You didn't notice it, did you?
We've been noticing you looking pretty smart around the corners. Here's an unusual parking position, this car in front, Bradley.
Yeah, he's got it just about in the perfect angle, hasn't he?
He locked up the rear brakes coming in there and just smacked the wall a little bit. How is your brake balance, by the way?
Seems pretty good, considering that we put different discs on the back of the car yesterday because we cracked one. They did drilled, so we were a bit worried about the balance, but it seems to be stopping real well.
Bradley, tell us about the importance of brakes in this particular class of racing at this track.
Well, this track's a lot different to what anything these cars normally do, so the problem is you got to stop them, and they're so heavy. And the rules with NASCAR is you're not allowed to have adjustable brake bias, which every other race car in the world has, and unfortunately, being so heavy, you really need to be able to adjust your brakes to sort the car out, but that's just the way it is, I'm afraid.
Brad, we'll have to leave you there for a moment. Come back shortly. Time to go to Sydney. Race 5, all right? And Johnny Taps down there, $300,000. Welcome back to the streets of Surfers Paradise. We haven't missed any action here because we've been under a yellow flag while the field reforms is still coming around. That's the rear end of Doug Taylor's car that you can see now. We'll take a commercial break. Be back shortly. Stay with us. Should be a ripper finish, this one. Welcome back, 5 of 10. We've just come out of the yellow flag situation. You've only missed about 200 metres of racing so far. Faulkner, O'Brien, Taylor, Richards, Jones and Robert Bestow, the top runners here. Charlie O'Brien's closed right up on Faulkner after the restart, and they've really got quite a gap now on the rest of the pack.
The big one, of course, Darryl, was that Alan Grice got pushed out of the way on one of the first corners on the restart, and he's out of the way. But Faulkner now coming out on the main straight, and Charlie O'Brien having a real big dig.
And that American Doug Taylor in the that car now, he's moved up to 3rd place. He's shot past Jimmy Richards. Jimmy Richards holding 4th. And we're into lap 5 of this race. It's been quite some time because of the yellow flag situations, but the boys are right into it. I'd say Charlie O'Brien, the Piranha car there, is really going to have to work hard here to get by Faulkner. Faulkner's driving very fast, very accurately, and protecting all the lines.
As they came down past the commentary box there, the whole stand here just rocks and rolls to the noise and the thunder of these V8s. They make a vicious noise around this circuit, but Faulkner hasn't been headed yet. He's done it right in the big car as he goes down, chased by Charlie O'Brien. It looks like a race from these two at the moment.
And Taylor looks as if he's got the jump on that yellow flag restart, but since he got by, I don't believe he's actually closing the gap. In fact, he's holding the rest of the boys back, so there's going to be some fireworks back there in 3rd, 4th, 5th, that's for sure.
Looking in Brad Jones' car as they head up the back straight.
Bradley, Peter Brock here, got your ears on.
Hi, Brock.
How's it going there, Bradley? Bit of a gap with the guy in front.
Yeah, shit, Richo's got more horsepower than me too, Brocky.
Looks like everyone's got more horsepower than you this weekend, Bradley, but that's a long way to go.
You've got to be able to keep on stopping them, and I'm sort of hoping that that's what's going to happen towards the end of the race.
Okay, Bradley, press on, my friend, and keep at it.
Thanks, Brocky. See ya.
Just a little see ya, like he's out for a Saturday afternoon's drive. We'll have a look at the hard chart now on Bradley Jones as you see him sitting in the office there. What are we up to? 183. She certainly jumped up from 111. The ticker's starting to tick.
I'll tell you what, Bradley's working. I mean, he sounds nice and nonchalant there when he's having a chat, but, you know, that's one of the things about race drivers. They get that adrenaline in the bloodstream. They can talk and the heart's going that fast.
Gerald, just go through some of these cars we're seeing here because they're foreign makes to many people all around Australia.
They certainly are. They are Chevy Lumina that Brad Jones is running, and it's a very popular make. And Charlie O'Brien on the outside in the Piranha car.
Charlie O'Brien with a big move under horsepower. Watch Faulkner come back around the chicane. Faulkner comes right up to the back bumper bar. Charlie O'Brien holds his line. He won't get past him there. But O'Brien with a lot of speed and power there. Oh, sideways there from Faulkner also. O'Brien now takes control. The experience of these cars. Well, Faulkner just got blasted by.
Looking back as well, Doug Taylor has gone. Doug Taylor's gone, and we've got Jimmy Richards up in the 3rd and Brad Jones in the 4th.
Right, just explain the first two cars for us.
First two cars, the Ford Thunderbird Charlie O'Brien is running, an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, a General Motors product for John Faulkner. So it's a good Ford versus GM battle again.
And then back there in 3rd spot and closing very fast on John Faulkner is none other than Jimmy Richards. And I'd say Faulkner's in trouble because Richo's pulling out. Faulkner's doing nothing to protect the fast line. Richards through into 2nd spot, and he's got Charlie O'Brien on his sights.
And Brad Jones, a big mover too. Well, Jimmy Richards, we know that he did so well in the Oscar race, came out and won that one. He'd love to make it a double. Charlie O'Brien jealously loves this racetrack and loves this race. He wants to win it too. Faulkner's got a problem. That is bad luck because he was going so well. But look at Richards. Richards now got the power down. He can get a sniff. He can smell the exhaust fumes.
He can. Once you get that sort of that visual contact, it's amazing how much better you can go. And Richo will be fully aware that, hey, he's only got Charlie O'Brien in front, and it's a checkered flags. Here's if he can get by.
Charlie O'Brien loves the track so much that 2 years ago he won both the Nascar and the Oscar took 50 grand away for about 30 laps.
Well, he wears the black shorts here, of course, because of the hometown advantage. Charlie's probably driven these streets day and night, and one of his transport trucks or something or other knows the roads backwards, and it's just like a whole home week to him.
Well, that was a big saving grace in his career, that win, because you know, he was looking to fund some racing. 50 grand wasn't a bad little earn.
Yeah, probably down to his last 50 acres of land up there in the hinterland, but it's good to see Charlie get up. He's an excellent guy. We all like Charlie very much. He's been around for some time.
That's what I like about you, Brocky. There's you're not a cynical sort of a person.
No, look, Charlie's driven for me many years, actually, and I've got to know and like Charlie a lot, and no one deserves to win this race more than Charlie, but Richards is closing.
Right, they're going to face some traffic in a moment, so can Richards close up on Charlie O'Brien? We'll come back for the closing stages. Well, certainly plenty of action here. Have a look at this chicane area. 3 cars side by side. Ding dong, bells.
And I'll tell you what,
the panel beaters are saying, how do you like? But they've parked them perfectly.
Beautiful job. I'm very impressed with the parking job. But look, there's oil flags out, yellow flags out, and obviously the people are going to be looking at clearing the track before we can get on with racing.
Okay, interesting now. 15, 1 and 8. So if you look at this, side by side, Jimmy Richards has come right up to Charlie O'Brien, and Brad Jones has really made some big inroads through all of these excursions. He's up into 3rd place now. Lap 10. And we're still racing. I think they're going to leave him there.
That's the last lap.
It's the last lap. This is a race to the flag, and you can see Richo getting very, very keen to pass and get by before. And there's no yellow flag situation. This is full racing, and good luck to the organisers, because we don't want to finish these races under yellows.
Yeah, it's happened before, and a lot of people were very disappointed. So the organisers have said, you had a look at where the cars are, you know they're there, be careful. Charlie O'Brien, Jimmy Richards, can he make it a double? Oscar Nascar. O'Brien will do it to hold him out. Charlie loves this place. He lives there. Oh, Richo comes up hard onto him as we look down from the top. Under brakes, Jimmy Richards. He seems to have the power. If anything, I think O'Brien seems to be holding him back.
I reckon that Jimmy Richards was a real do-or-die effort under brakes. This is another very, very careful one. Well, it's Charlie out sideways, but not a bad exit. Now, Richo's going to try one side or the other. If I was Charlie, I'd be down the other side of the track, because, believe me, Richo's going to go for it.
You can see Richo lining himself up. Jimmy Richards, side by side. Almost a touch here. And bang, a little kiss together there. Nothing wrong with that. O'Brien keeps his racing line.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Over the top of him.
Absolutely sensational. Brad Jones just sitting in the background, but Jimmy Richards about to attempt it again as they head up down the back of the back straight.
Remember, this is the race to the checkered flag. O'Brien hits the ripple strip. Jimmy Richards chasing him. This is good stuff.
This is great stuff, and Richo waiting for next area to attack. Charlie's blocked it nicely. He's moved across the road. He's got the apex. Richo can't do much about it. A little bit sideways out of there, but Charlie now coming into this next little right-left bit. Clean. Jimmy's having now this next right hand will be very interesting. Look at the blocking lines that Charlie's taken. He's about 3 car widths over from where you normally would be. This is good racing.
See the attitude of Jimmy Richards coming around that corner. There was a big slide. Look at him all over the back. Well, this is it. It's a drag race now. Coming out of this corner, drag race to the flag. I think O'Brien's going to hang on. Richards has got it all hanging out now. The foot flat to the firewall, but won't do him any good. Charlie O'Brien takes the flag in a wonderful race here between 2 really, really good drivers. O'Brien, my G, fires up here. But Jimmy Richards, isn't he in great form? I mean, he's fought all the way, and Brad Jones with a really good 3rd place. And I must congratulate the organisers there. That was the problem. Those 3 cars perfectly placed there, and they thought, well, the drivers know they're there, let them race to the flag.
Certainly the wise decision by the track management at the time, and Charlie O'Brien again, another win and another one for the Fords.
Well, Brocky, I wouldn't mind you and Jonesy getting here. I mean, you'd smack a couple of panels, you two. You're pretty used to doing that.
Yeah. In fact, you know, I'd probably be a little bit more reluctant than some others, but certainly panel scraping racing such as that is so exciting for people to see, and it's all pretty harmless fun.
Well, AJ, you just stepped in. I mean, you in one of these, I mean, you'd be a bit lethal.
Oh, thanks. It was just give up AJ week or something. I mean, no, this is good racing, and I'm sure this is what people come to see. I mean, they obviously don't come to see cars battered around deliberately, but I mean, good close racing. I mean, that was a good race to watch.
And it wasn't a particularly sort of, I suppose, didn't crash too many cars up to a large extent. There's a lot of superficial damage, but if you said, look, we'll give you 2 hours to fix your car, get it back on the track, I reckon everyone out there would get it back on the track.
Well, there you go, some of the carnies here, and Brad Jones, we might have a talk through Peter Brock and just get his feelings on the race. It was a good third place.
Bradley, how'd you like the finish of that race?
Well, I'm a bit mixed up here, Brocky. I thought it was meant to go a little bit longer than that. Was that 15 laps?
No, it was a 10-lapper, Bradley, but it always was a 10-lapper. But I noticed that you came up very fast behind Richards before. Did you feel that Charlie shouldn't have backed off because of that accident situation?
No, not really. I mean, I don't think it was the accident so much that made Charlie back off, that he's probably running out of brakes. I think, you know, he was probably blocking Richo a bit hard, but the trick is to get by them. And, you know, that was fine. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I thought they were going to cut one another off, so I thought I'd just sit back here, and all of a sudden I ran out of laps.
Okay, mate, we've got a 15-lapper tomorrow, and you're on third starting position for tomorrow?
Yeah, I can hardly wait.
Well, that's looking pretty good, so good luck for tomorrow, Bradley.
I need to find about another 50 horse.
So there we go, Brad Jones talking there with Peter Brock. So let's recap on the results for you. Charlie O'Brien keeping his record pretty clean here on the streets of Surfers Paradise from Jimmy Richards, Brad Jones, James Graham and Dumpsy. They make up the top 6 there. That was some good action. Back shortly, lots more to come from the Gold Coast of Queensland and Surfers Paradise.